There's nothing that demonstrates being unemployed more than watching 3 games of Euro 2024 in the day and then watching 2 Copa America games during the night. But to be fair, I can't blame those people, because to be honest, I'm probably one of those people. But it's a good month for football, soccer, depending what you call it. Make sure to have an argument in the comments in this video so I get more engagement, more views. Or an easier way of doing that, just leave a like on the video and subscribe if you are new. In this video, I'm going to be giving my preview for the Copa America and then giving you my group stage predictions of all 4 groups. For when I'm recording this, the tournament kicks off in 12 hours, so let's not waste any more time and let's get into it. Going into the tournament, there are 4 nations that really stand out as favourites. You obviously have Argentina and Brazil, and then along with that you have Colombia and Uruguay. This Brazilian squad is one of the weakest in their entire history, although it is still a good team. Although they have a lot of great individual players, they don't really make a great team, with Ronaldinho saying he won't even watch a single match. Colombia haven't lost a match in 20 games, which is incredibly impressive. They've looked really good. They've had wins over Spain. They're looking a really good side going into this tournament. James Rodriguez is still around and still doing well for his country, and players like Luis Diaz also regularly show up for their nation. Similar to Colombia, Uruguay are on a great run as well. They've massively improved since Marcelo Bielsa has come in, a manager who's really suited to this tournament style football. In World Cup qualifying, they've had wins over both Argentina and Brazil. Darwin Núñez has been really good for Uruguay. He scored a hat-trick in a friendly recently. He might be key for them in this tournament and might win the Golden Boot. And then you also have the world-class players like Federico Valverde. And then, of course, Argentina, the reigning world champions, the reigning Copa America champions. Lionel Messi may not be peak Lionel Messi, but he's still the greatest player of all time. He's still going to cause any defender nightmares. Those are the favourites, but if we're talking about teams that will disappoint you, there's no better team than Mexico right now, because Okocha is gone, Hugo Lozano is not in the squad, Edson Alvarez is really the only quality player. Santiago Jimenez may score loads of goals for Feyenoord, but he never really seems to show up for his country. He's only ever scored 4 times. And then the majority, the rest of the players are players that play in the Mexican league. The US go into this tournament with almost every single US fan hating their manager. Greg Berhalter having no faith in their manager isn't a great foundation to win a tournament. And then other nations like Jamaica and Canada are both complete messes right now, so it's clear the North American teams aren't doing so good, while the South American teams are clearly the favourites, which isn't that surprising. Right, so let's get into my Copa America group stage predictions, and with Group A, 4th place, I'm going to go with Peru. They're not a great side. In World Cup qualifying for South America, they're bottom of the table, 2 draws, that's it from 6 games. They're just clearly not a very good team, and I could easily see them losing every single group stage game. 3rd place, I'm going with Chile. They still have their old players who used to be very good, but now just not quite the same and are a little bit washed up, the likes of Alexis Sanchez. And the wave of new young players aren't as good. You know, they have Ben Bertrand Diaz, who is a notable name, but it's not like he has the ability to carry them through to the knockout stages on his own. I personally can't see him doing that. I think Chile will beat Peru and that's about it. I can definitely see them getting out of the group, but I think it would be very difficult. 2nd place, I'm going with Canada. They're interchangeable with Chile. Both teams aren't in a good place right now. I'm just picking Canada above Chile because Canada have that individual player power. If you look at both sets of teams and you're looking on one player to provide you with a moment of magic, I think Canada have more of those players, the likes of Jonathan David, Alphonso Davies. I think they'll beat Peru and they'll beat Chile, and that will be enough to get them out of the group. 1st place to Argentina. It's fairly straightforward. They may be the champions. There might be a little bit of pressure, but they should easily win every single game in this group, and I would be surprised if they don't get 9 points. Group B, in 4th place, Mexico. They'll have a big support because the tournament's on in America. There will be a lot of fans, but I just don't think the team is good enough to really perform at the tournament at all. I think they're going to have a really disappointing couple of weeks, and they're finishing dead last of Group B. 3rd place, Jamaica, another nation that's just in a complete mess. I'm not sure the entire details, but for some reason Leon Bailey has decided to retire from international football for problems in the Jamaican Federation. You might know more than me on that. Feel free to educate me in the comments. They're probably interchangeable with Mexico. I just know both of these teams aren't getting out of the group. 2nd place, Venezuela. They have a few notable players. Herrera, for example, had a really good season at Girona playing in midfield. They've had a good start to the World Cup qualifying process. Collectively, they are a very good team, and I think they will continue on getting out of the group. 1st place, Ecuador. A lot of top quality players like Moises Caicedo of Chelsea, Hincapié of Bayer Leverkusen. They may be missing Estupiñán due to injury, but I do think they will comfortably top this group and could potentially be dark horses to win the whole thing. Group C, in 4th place, Bolivia. No real surprises here. They're one of the worst teams in the entire competition. Their only recent win in competitive football has been over Peru, the worst team in South America, and in of the last 5 matches they played, the only win was against Andorra, one of the worst teams in international football in general. They won't win a single game and will finish the campaign on 0 points. 3rd place, Panama. They're not a great team, but they're better than Bolivia. I'm really confident in my prediction skills with this group in particular. I think I am going to get this 100% right. I'm most confident with this group because Panama will get 1 win. That'll be over Bolivia, and that's all. The US of A, they're going to have extra motivation. They're going to be better in this tournament because they're playing at home. They're going to be feeling that extra bit of freedom, that extra bit of pride. No, they'll get out of the group, fair enough. You know, they'll beat Bolivia, they'll beat Panama, but they'll get to the quarterfinal and get knocked out because of the way the draw works. Then first place Uruguay, like I said, they've been a completely different team since Bielsa took over because they've been just so much better. They're one of the favourites for this tournament. They have an incredible team. I'm backing Darwin Nunez to score loads of goals in this group because Panama and Bolivia are terrible, and he is going to win the Golden Boot. Group D, 4th place Costa Rica. Keylor Navas has retired. They don't have a world-class goalkeeper in goals, and when they're playing the likes of Brazil and Colombia in this group, they're going to be punished. It's not going to be a fun tournament, and their goal difference is not going to look pretty. 3rd place Paraguay. They haven't had the best of starts to the qualifiers for the World Cup. 1 win, 2 draws from 6 games. They do have a few decent players like Almiron and Enciso. Those will be enough to get a win over Costa Rica, but that's about it. 2nd place Brazil. Like I said at the start of the video, they're not one of the best teams in the world anymore. They're one of the worst Brazilian sides ever. You know, they just don't look like a full team. They'll easily get out of this group because they have the individual players to beat Panama, to beat Costa Rica, but I don't think those individual players will be able to take them any further in the competition. I think they're favourites purely because they're called Brazil, not based on form or the players they have. Then 1st place I'm going Colombia. They're red hot in form right now, 20 games unbeaten. The players they have, they should easily beat both Paraguay and Costa Rica, and then the way Brazil are playing, they should win that as well. That's 3 more games unbeaten, and you feel like this year's tournament is a real chance for them to win the Copa America. This year's Copa America is a 16 team tournament, meaning after the group stages we go straight into quarterfinals. The way the format is done is the winner of Group A will face the 2nd place team of Group B, and then vice versa, so there's a good chance a nation plays the same nation from their group in the semi-final. There is a conspiracy among football fans that this has been done purely to get a Brazil versus Argentina final, which obviously would be more marketable, but we'll just have to wait and see whether that will happen. Let me know what you thought of everything I went over in this video. Who do you think is going to win the Copa America? What did you think of my group stage predictions? Thank you all so much for watching the video. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy, subscribe if you are new. Shout out to all my channel members, and I will see you in the next one.